D.A.R.E. anti-drug programs, remember those?
Remember D.A.R.E from school? Y'all remember D.A.R.E?
Cop will come to your school, open up a briefcase of drugs.
They try to scare kids away from drugs by sending cops into schools.
You guys remember that? You remember how bad this program was?
This is the 2001 Board of Directors for the D.A.R.E program. Before I show you who's on it, I want you to ask yourself, who would you want running D.A.R.E? Maybe social scientists or educators. These people are going to wield the power of the police and shape how millions of children view drugs, crimes, and their own body. All right. Ready?
What up, guys? Let me know when you come in. Hit me with a thumbs up or a comment in the chat. Let's do this. All right, what's up? All right, guy. Let me turn this on for you, bro. I'm glad you're the first one in here. Gotta turn these on. Yeah, right, guys. The D.A.R.E program. If you guys are old enough, you guys will remember what the D.A.R.E program is. So, what up, Big G? What up, Duper Trooper? I got your email, Duper Trooper. That was a quick arrest, bro. That was fast. What up, Four Corner Fist in the Air? We all failed. Yeah, I wanna congratulate drugs for winning the war on drugs. Right? Drugs looks like drugs won the war on drugs, guys. Let's play some of this video. And I want to find out more. I started watching this video earlier and I was like, you know what, man, I think I'm gonna watch this with my people, right? Because for one, it has everything to do with cops, and at this point, I don't like learning anything on my own. This is a group effort to learn what's happening in policing. So really quick, let me say hi to people in here. Westside Accountability, good to see you. Jenny, good to see you. Hammer, 1978. Drugs are really expensive. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But like I said, I want to congratulate drugs for winning the war on drugs. It looks like, it appears, right? They brought drugs into the classroom and explained stuff like a commercial. Did they actually bring drugs into your classroom?
If you said 4 billionaires, 18 multi-million.
So now, let me start this from the beginning since I got some of you guys in here now. All right, what's up, Righteous Monkey? Good morning, shout out from Tucson. Been loving the channel and digging your vibe. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's learn this shit together, guys. I'm sure some of us already know about this shit. We know it was just a scam, right? To steal more tax dollars and to act like you're doing something.
D.A.R.E. anti-drug programs, remember those?
Remember D.A.R.E from school? Y'all remember D.A.R.E?
Cop will come to your school, open up a briefcase of drugs.
They try to scare kids away from drugs by sending cops into schools.
You guys remember that? You remember how bad this program was?
This is the 2001 Board of Directors for the D.A.R.E program. Before I show you who's on it, I want you to ask yourself, who would you want running D.A.R.E? Maybe social scientists or educators. These people are going to wield the power of the police and shape how millions of children view drugs, crimes, and their own body. All right.
Yeah.
Ready? If you said 4 billionaires, 18 multimillionaires, their lawyers, 3 cops, one of whom is a convicted felon, 2 who are involved in corruption scandals, their friends, the NFL player who's at the center of RFK's assassination conspiracy theories, a boxer who reportedly uses steroids, 2 people on the Epstein list, and this guy who, after the FBI did an undercover sting, caught him trying to launder money to cover up a cocaine trafficking operation. If you said that, then you'd be right.
The D.A.R.E program it's nonsense. I mean, we can be honest about it.
By 1995, D.A.R.E, or Drug Abuse Resistance Education, was in 75% of all American school districts. They sent thousands of...
What's funny is, I lived through this shit. And this is my first time finding out what the fuck it actually stands for. That's crazy.
Can be honest about it.
By 1995, D.A.R.E, or Drug Abuse Resistance Education, was in 75% of all American school districts. They sent thousands of police officers into tens of thousands of elementary schools to teach 10-year-olds to say no to drugs. It was backed by presidents.
People like these D.A.R.E officers are making a real impression.
Celebrities.
Little kids doing drugs.
It even got its own national holiday. 114 million Americans went through D.A.R.E. That's 34% of the entire population.
What we were talking about are the consequences for using marijuana and not using marijuana.
I just want to shake some sense into you kids that are using drugs and thinking about using. So remember, don't.
And then we found out that it didn't work.
All just a waste of taxpayers' money.
Cheers.
Right?
A while back, Mia and I were talking about the D.A.R.E program.
Because genuinely, what the fuck?
Specifically, how bad its failure was. Some studies, like this one, found that D.A.R.E students were more likely than non-D.A.R.E students.
Damn, Oathkeeper, you were out of high school. I was in junior high school when they rolled that shit out. Actually, I think I was younger than that. I was in elementary when they rolled that shit out. Right? I was born in 78. So I went through the whole, I love the 80s. And I'm not going to lie, I fucking love and miss the 80s. There's a song that just came out called I Love the 80s from, was it Men in Hats? An OG band. I've been listening to it recently. But yeah, I was in elementary when the D.A.R.E program came out. And even then as a kid, I remember thinking to myself, like, this shit's stupid. My next door neighbors grow weed. They're not going to stop. Yeah, my next door neighbors used to grow weed in the backyard. And this is back in the day when weed was still fucking highly illegal. My neighbors are hella cool though, man. It was back in the day when everybody wore some fucking short ass cut off fucking jean shorts. Like all the men back in the day, they wore fucking hella short shorts and shit. Men without hats. We gotta call us right. Yeah, there's a new song from them called I Love the 80s. And I actually like it, man. It's a catchy tune. It sounds like it was written in the 80s. Crazy fucking days, guys. I miss my childhood, though. I'm not gonna lie.
To experiment with drugs.
They were already scamming us. The government was already scamming us.
How did that happen?
Totally.
And then Mia had a question.
Everyone knows about D.A.R.E. Everyone knows
shit.
that it failed. But what I'm missing is, like, did they not test that it worked? Like, the people that made it?
For years, D.A.R.E has been laughed at.
Just say
Now to crack!
Trendy, goofy teens wear their t-shirt around to mock its demise. We all came up with our own theories as to why D.A.R.E didn't work. We kind of dismissed it as yet another failed government program. And we never properly investigated the private corporation, a non-profit that
1983.
often doesn't act like one,
Word.
that somehow was able to get a dysfunctional drug program and police officers into your school and mine. This video was supposed to be a nostalgic explainer of America's biggest accident, but over the past 4 months, we've been combing through thousands of documents,
No
interviewing
shit.
cops, historians, journalists, and discovered that behind this program is a buried story, using high-powered lawyers, attacking journalists and researchers when they tried to bring the truth to light. The people at D.A.R.E ruined careers to protect themselves. I want to show you all of this, because when you look at the people who were behind the program, you start to see what D.A.R.E was really all about.
I will say no more drugs until my friends say no. I will pledge to stand up for what I know is right.
And then 12-year-old kids were like, okay, crack sounds fun.
And then all the kids would be like,
Imagine that, though. Imagine spending all kinds of money to create this D.A.R.E program, all kinds of tax dollars, right? But at the same time, funding the CIA to purchase drugs. I mean, are we going to try to deny that fact? Right? They had us fill out a long questionnaire form afterwards too, asking if family or friends did it. And the kids caught on really quick. But it was about a survey so they could watch certain kids. No shit, right? What's up, CTI? Good to see you, bro. CTI, I don't know if you're old enough to remember the D.A.R.E program. This is, if you're my age, if you're born like in 1980, 1975, in between there, earlier than that as well, you're going to remember the D.A.R.E program and when it came out. Probably what you were doing, what grade you were in when this shit came out. I was still in elementary. If it came out in 83, that means I was 5 years old. War on drugs is a scam. Yeah, no doubt. Like I said earlier, I'd like to congratulate drugs for winning the war on drugs. Right? At this point, though, like I think to myself, like, the government actually wants people doing drugs. I mean, that's a fact. You can't deny that shit because it's job security. More cops, more funding, more courthouses, more people to lock up, more laws. So government wants people on drugs, or else you can't have this war on drugs, right? So yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. There is nothing but drug trafficking. You were born in the 60s and I've never heard of it? Damn, Jenny. The war on drugs is a war on personal freedoms. I can see that.
Now I want drugs.
Clandestine meeting in the Mojave Desert. Illegal guns being sent to the Contras by the CIA.
They did studies that showed that it's actually ineffective, in some cases actually harmful.
The story that's told is that D.A.R.E had good intentions, that they built a program that they thought would work, and it just didn't. However, I quickly learned there's a lot more to that story. After talking with Mia, I went out and picked up this book. It was written by a professor of history at Ball State University, and it's phenomenal. But there's one part that left me with way more questions than answers. So I reached out. In 1983, a group of researchers affiliated with USC just wrapped up a meeting with the Los Angeles School Board.
It's not like they didn't have drug prevention efforts going on. The LA Unified School District actually had been piloting a program called Project SMART.
The researchers in charge of Project SMART were leaving a school board meeting when a man approaches them.
Actually approached the Project SMART researchers.
His name was Daryl Gates.
And Gates is kind of like, well, what if we can take the Project SMART and just have the police teach it?
Having serious objections to police involvement, they said no. But according to one of Gates's right-hand men,
if you told Gates that he was wrong, he would crush you.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Because 114 million kids went through this program. So what do you mean he'll crush you? What do you mean by that?
This idea of like, if only they had known, does not apply.
They fucking knew? Did they know?
So the SMART researchers agreed to share their findings. They had been testing two different approaches. One of them they found didn't work.
And they said, we found that this affective component wasn't working. We've dropped it. We don't use that anymore because we found that it was not having the right effects.
These researchers had found that it made kids more likely to do drugs.
Before it launched.
And that's what they told him.
The other side of it, what they called peer resistance training, was more effective. What ends up happening, there's no real documentation of why this occurred, is that they kept the affective education component in.
So the part that they knew didn't work.
D.A.R.E kept that piece in.
What do you take from it? Is this just a PR
The shock on her face.
There may be other stuff.
The shock on her face was priceless. At this point, though, us in this community, nothing shocks us anymore of the things that the cops do. Like, we're just like, just laugh it off because we're not even fucking surprised anymore. This shit doesn't even surprise us. The shit that they do, it's not surprising.
Going up behind the scenes.
Well, with Gates, there's always other stuff going on.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Max's book is a phenomenal breakdown of D.A.R.E's expansion, its impacts on culture, policing, the nuances of the hundreds of studies that went into D.A.R.E. But I want to show you a completely different angle.
Yeah. All right. That's right. Oh, no.
Okay, so I talked to this guy. He's a former cop, and he was there. Like, he worked directly under the founder of D.A.R.E. when and where it was created.
Okay.
And I think the problem is that we all just kind of assumed that D.A.R.E.'s failure was a big mistake. Let me just show you what he said.
Why are we doing this program? You know, because that's internally, that's what most people thought. So why are we doing this?
Wait, tell me more about that.
They just thought it was a ridiculous idea. Most people within the departments, everybody said, it's not going to work.
What? Okay. Marijuana. Oh, was it good?
When one of the smart researchers learned that D.A.R.E. was using the effective approach, he reached out to try to help fix it. But D.A.R.E. was never interested, speculating that D.A.R.E. had other motives. D.A.R.E. didn't need fixing. What it needed was money and friends in high...
Damn. We don't need to fix our program to make sure it operates correctly. What we need is money and friends in high places. That's like saying, fuck off. Pretty much, right? Sheesh. And you know, like I was saying, nothing surprises us. Not what the cops do, the policies, certain laws that come out, they abuse absolutely everything that they get their hands on. Pennsylvania versus Mims, for instance, they abuse it every chance they get. The government does the exact same thing. Everything, even if it was, let's say the D.A.R.E. program was built with good intentions. I doubt it was, though. At the end of the day, it'll be corrupted because they're going to find a way to steal money. They're going to find a way to... Look, if the D.A.R.E. program actually worked and they lowered drug use and kids stopped using drugs, would the D.A.R.E. program need to exist any longer? No, right? It would not need to exist any longer. So why fix it? It doesn't need fixing. We just need more money, guys.
Places. Though not technically true,
that's
the point
all
still
government
stands.
agencies.
Another
guys.
smart researcher put it bluntly. D.A.R.E. had never talked to a scientist until it got into some trouble in 1993. When D.A.R.E. was already in 52% of school districts, making the question, if their goal wasn't efficacy, what was it?
It is truly
No good
my
intentions.
great pleasure to welcome D.A.R.E. to NASDAQ.
It's June 4th, 1968. A 15-year-old boy walks into the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. He's there on an assignment for his high school newspaper. U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy is in town, and he's giving a speech at the hotel. The boy's assignment is to take photos of it.
My thanks to all of you, and now it's on to Chicago, and let's win there.
Following the speech, the 15-year-old is following the senator around, snapping photos, when...
Senator Kennedy had been shot.
He's been shot? That's right.
A former NFL player named Rosie Greer subdued Sirhan Sirhan, who we now know as the assassin of Robert Kennedy. Realizing that Kennedy had just been shot, the high school photographer starts taking photos of everything he can. Then, the LAPD appears. The boy is detained. All his photos, 3 entire rolls of film, are taken from him. 2 months later, the LAPD secretly burns 2,410 photos taken during the investigation. In time, they also destroy ceiling panels with bullet holes in them, x-rays of those ceiling panels, and spectrographic analyses of the bullets.
No shit.
Why would you do that? It's all quite suspicious. During this time, a young officer at the LAPD is climbing the ranks. His name is D.A.R.E Gates, and he was just in charge of the intelligence division, but got a promotion to be assistant chief.
He was a narcissist.
Damn. This video broke that shit down. They did their research on this fucking video right here. Hell yeah. Yeah, now they're going into the fucking police chief, right? Who's more than likely a high-ranking fucking Freemason.
And his ego was beyond belief.
Gates is about to build an infamous reputation.
A man who Pulitzer Prize winning journalists have called egomaniacal and paranoid. He is responsible for the creation of the SWAT team.
Oh.
And commits a move that will change policing forever. A brutal, unprovoked raid on the Black Panthers. Meanwhile, the intelligence division that Gates oversaw breaks off into 2 different categories. The Organized Crime Intelligence Division, or OCID, and the Public Disorder Intelligence Division, or PDID. Almost immediately, the PDID neglects its mission to serve public disorder and focuses on the real enemy. Building dossiers on journalists, labor unions, civil rights groups, public servants, anti-war activists, and the mayor. Of course.
This paranoia that the LAPD had under D.A.R.E Gates extended way beyond the city of LA. He had officers undercover all around the world.
I know this guy sounds like a conspiracy theorist, but he's actually a Pulitzer Prize winning investigative journalist. Check yourself.
Part of what you were revealing, he had like hundreds of people, right?
He had, we don't know how many he had.
We're not talking FBI. This
is LAPD.
LAPD, a local municipal police force, hundreds of agents undercover, and some of them internationally.
Hundreds of agents in the unit that supervised the undercover officers.
Soon,
ripple effect.
the PDID
Thank you, brother.
starts to get in trouble. They got caught running covert intelligence missions by sending undercover officers into schools, not to investigate a crime, but instead to build political dossiers, signifying that the LAPD and D.A.R.E Gates are becoming increasingly obsessed with power. And it's working. Legions of police officers are starting to look towards D.A.R.E Gates for their next move.
Watergate.
There's a Riverside County sheriff right now who's running for governor. And this was talking about how Democrats ruined California. This was talking about he's going to create the change. But he's known for covering up a crooked-ass sheriff department. And he's already talking about protesters who hinder ICE doing their job should get automatic felonies and automatic 10 years in prison. He's talking some crazy shit like that. And look, just so you guys know, I don't lean left nor right. I don't support Biden, nor do I support Trump. I don't support these so-called leaders who present themselves to be your savior. I believe the people will fix things if shit's fucked up. But immediately when I saw this sheriff running, talking shit about Gavin Newsom. And just so you guys know, I don't even like Gavin Newsom. I think he's a piece of shit as well, right? I'm listening to the guy speak, and I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, this fool is what government is. Blame the other side and then instill more laws. Right? Like, we need to create more laws. Democrats will create more laws. Republicans will create more laws. And it's the blame game on each other. They blame these guys for doing this stupid shit, and they come back and blame this guy. And it's causing a divide in the people. And yeah, Democrats have ruined California, but then again, so have fucking Republicans. Government ruins everything. That's the bottom fucking line here. Let's not kid ourselves and believe that one is trying to fix what the other did. No, dude. No. This guy, they run and they get you to vote for them because they make you believe that he's on your side. He's on your side. He has your best interest in mind. That's totally untrue.
The White House called it a third-rate burglary, but it escalated into the worst political scandal in American history.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
In the wake of the Watergate scandal, America started to wake up. The government wasn't just watching its enemies anymore. It was watching everyone. The FBI ran COINTELPRO, and the CIA was doing the same through Operation MH Chaos. Local, state, and federal agencies all got in on it. So cities, states, Congress started pushing back, passing laws like this one. These laws say, if you're spying on someone, if there's no crime committed, you have to delete the file. Around this same time, they expand the Freedom of Information Act. And this guy, a congressman from New York, wants answers. He wants to know what really happened to Robert F. Kennedy. So he looks at LA and starts asking questions.
I agree, Don.
A memo makes its way up the chain of command to Daryl Gates, responding point by point to the representative's questions. A key photograph taken during the investigation of the assassination was kept secret by Los Angeles police, who feared it might contradict official statements. The existence of this photograph is believed to be unknown by anyone outside of this department, and that the LAPD deliberately kept this a secret. Soon after, the California Supreme Court comes down on the LAPD, saying, you can't send undercover cops into schools if there's no crime. You can't do this. Then, the LA Board of Police Commissioners orders Daryl Gates' precious PDID to destroy 1.9 million dossiers. The world that Gates built of power, secrecy, and surveillance is officially under threat. Gates' chief gets summoned to DC. The Senate Intelligence Committee wants names. Everyone that's spying for the LAPD. The chief waged a war. His response was a clear declaration that the LAPD was going rogue. It will be a cold day in hell when I provide you with the information you've requested. Back in LA, one of the PDID spies gets a quiet order. We're not going to destroy the records. We want you to hide them. 3 years later, Daryl Gates is promoted to chief, inheriting total control of a rogue, loyal, militarized force with an elite spy network. Daryl Gates is then blessed with a gift directly from the CIA gods themselves. These new laws didn't say that spying was illegal. They just said that if no crime was committed, you shall maintain no record. Representative Larry McDonald, chair of the right-wing advocacy group known for its conspiracy theories, teams up with his buddies to create the Western Goals Foundation, a domestic intelligence agency.
Those guys came up with the idea of setting up this company to do what the FBI couldn't do.
There is one thing that these new laws cannot regulate. Of course, private businesses. The LAPD funnels its hidden records to the ultra-conservative mini deep state.
He got the files from PDID.
And ramps up.
The conservatives mini deep state. I thought it was only the liberals who had a deep state. So this guy's telling us that it's the right wingers as well. They both have a deep state. I say yes. I have to agree. I believe so. What? We thought this is a bird that flies with only one wing?
200 groups were infiltrated over the course of a couple of years.
Spies are sent to the city council, journalists, academics, the ACLU, celebrities, LGBTQ activists, labor unions, and the political left.
And those were being provided to Western goals.
We were told at one time that there were no undercover agents in this chamber, and in fact there was an undercover agent. You've had officers infiltrating peaceful organizations, law-abiding organizations, infiltrating this council chamber, reporting on what councilmen have said, reporting on roll calls of councilmen, and you're telling me that you're proud of the efforts that have been made?
You seem to know a great deal for a statement that says you don't know anything. Now, what is it? Do you know everything, or do you don't know everything?
Yes, Mr. Bernardi, I believe so.
We'd come to work, and there'd be a helicopter over our building, right? They'd be monitoring us, coming and going and everything. And, we'd stand there going like this at the helicopter.
Journalist Dave Lindorf was a target for the PDID.
The helicopter would follow me at night. One time they followed me all the way home. They were shining their light on me.
Dave and 143 others sue D.A.R.E. Gates. Backed by the ACLU, things get hot. Gates strikes back, winning a totally separate case against the ACLU. Undercover cops can operate in schools as long as they're targeting drug dealers. The ACLU plans to appeal. All they have to do is prove one thing, that Gates will abuse that power. So the ACLU focuses their attention on the PDID case. The city attorney representing Gates opens an unlocked file cabinet. He runs to the press, calling PDID a clandestine band of zealots who abuse every single moral and ethical precept. The judge says they're going to order the police to release the files. But before they do, the news breaks. Gates has been funneling intelligence to Western goals. It's fully public. People are seeing this, they're hearing this. It is a huge deal. This is not good for Gates.
They weren't overly concerned until the ACLU got in the PDID.
The ACLU starts closing in.
We started what's called the purge, destroying tens of thousands of documents. We had 2 commercial shredders. We burned 2 of them up. They knew they were going to lose this lawsuit.
Gates runs to the school board and pitches an idea. Drug education, taught by police, not for one class, but have them stay there.
When it came to spying, he had no rules.
School district is like, you are nuts. A program cannot be developed overnight. Gates approaches smart researchers saying, use my cops for your program. They say, no.
They would send their files on leftist groups to Western goals, and then Western goals would make them accessible to the FBI.
Western Goals gets added as a defendant right as soon as they entered the Iran-Contra funding network by funding rebels in Nicaragua with the CIA. The founder of Western Goals gets on a plane to South Korea. Soviet fighters approach, shoot the plane down. He dies. The ACLU goes on the offense. The CIA notices that all of this is happening. LAPD, MH Chaos type activities, ACLU legal action. The CIA sends 2 agents to LA, and Gates sends 10 cops to 50 elementary schools. The official launch of D.A.R.E.
And that's when the city settled.
So when the hell does the 21 Jump Street kick off? I did an interview with the ex-cop who was busted for drugs and all kinds of shit. He did some time, and he's out now, and did an interview with somebody else, and I reached out to him, did an interview with him. And he was an actual 21 Jump Street cop. And one of the stories he told was pretty insane. He told it on my channel as well. But watching this video, I can't help but think when all that shit, 21 Jump Street, started popping off. I'm guessing around the same time, right? I wonder if they're going to get into that in this video. No shit.
Daryl Gates loved spying, but so does the internet, which is why I use Surfshark, the sponsor of this video. With Surfshark VPN, you can connect to the internet, filters through, see if anything shows video. All you have to do is click money back guarantee. Thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring a portion of today's video. Back to it.
Yo, Drew, I got that stuff I was telling you about.
No!
Oh,
Sometimes
shit.
the best answer is the simplest way.
What the hell is Chili
You have
doing
the
in this
power.
commercial?
Just say no to drugs.
Thanks, Chili. Thanks, Chili. If you guys don't know the joke, you'll never get it. But if you guys know that was funny.
Years passed by, D.A.R.E slowly grew, but there was one problem. Money. Police can't take money from any person who is engaged in business for gain. But if those same officers go out and start a private nonprofit, then now it's not the LAPD asking, it's a private charity. Then that private nonprofit can take the money and pass it off to the police department. Totally passes the sniff test. Like, it's totally above board. Super happy that things work this way. God. Today, this is actually totally normal. They're called police foundations. And if you've never heard of it, according to policefoundations.org, that's the point. These police foundations can't legally imply that any donor will be able to influence official actions or get anything in return, but there's low transparency. Critics call these dark money slush funds. The LAPD creates one called the CPAC, which turns into D.A.R.E California, and then, in turn, D.A.R.E America. They throw some fundraisers, inviting who critics would call dark money. They throw this fundraiser gala for D.A.R.E. The dinner chair of the gala, which, like, whatever, I don't fucking know what that means, is a luxury goods and jewelry mogul. And he lands a seat on D.A.R.E America's board of directors. A banker shows up, a developer shows up, they make the board too, an attorney attends, her son is suddenly on the board. The whole event, netting D.A.R.E more than $760,000, is paid for by a banker and Michael Milken, the man who would later get indicted for stock manipulation, insider trading, tax evasion, and become known as the junk bond king. Michael Milken, friend of D.A.R.E, I guess. That's crazy. How did that happen? How do they know each other? This is a duck. You can tell because it walks like one and it talks like one. In all my life, I've learned that if something says that it's one thing, but then it acts a different way, you should ask questions. A good one to start with is, how is it walking and how is it talking? D.A.R.E's first year was a trial run. Year 2, oops, cop shoots a revolver in a classroom. Year 3 though, something different happens.
Oh, kids turning in their parents for drug use.
Even though D.A.R.E is still small, 6 kids turn their parents in a 3-month period. From the early days, D.A.R.E has to come up with this policy, telling their officers,
it's a straight fucking snitching program. Oh, shit. I know how we can get people some drug convictions. Let's start a program and have the kids turn in their parents. Fucking hell. That shit is diabolical. That's like, I mean, look, man. I don't agree with fucking parents doing drugs in front of kids and shit and passing out and letting their kids run out in the street and get hit by a car and shit. Fucking toddlers in diapers. That shit ain't cool, right? I mean, but damn. This is pretty diabolical. Fuck. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
officers, you're not here to gather intelligence. You're here as a teacher. D.A.R.E's training documents are bathed in this language. Gain their trust, gain their trust. And God forbid if a child does confide in you, just like coincidentally, not because you gain their trust or anything, get another officer and let them take care of it. We can't have you losing the kid's trust, because I guess that's important for drug education.
Perhaps unintended consequences, perhaps intended.
Intended or unintended?
The new D.A.R.E elementary curriculum challenges students by having them participate in active learning. The officer guides and directs students' progress and their understanding.
I'm going to ask for a student to help me by decorating the D.A.R.E box, and that'll be a place for all of you to drop questions in. But also that might be a place where you may want to tell me something in confidentiality, and if you do, make sure that you make note of it in that box, please. Make note that that's in there, or that you don't want anyone to hear it, that you want it to be private. When I mention the term confidentiality, what that means is it's something between you and I. It's private.
If a literal confession.
It's private until we take it to my supervisor, and then we put some warrants out on your parents. Oh, shit. Yo. That's pretty evil. Trust me, kids.
Box isn't damning. I don't know what is. Would you say that it's in line with what you know about Daryl Gates to start a program that inspired kids to act as informants?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have no doubt that it occurred to him that this is a possibility.
As D.A.R.E grew, this became a huge problem. More and more kids started turning their parents in. Parents compared D.A.R.E to the late Weimar Republic. If D.A.R.E was good at one thing, it was not drug education. It was, as Wikipedia says, using children as informants.
The idea that you're going to use kids to rat out on their parents, the bottom of the barrel. If they use that to lock the dad up, the kid's going to find out about it someday that it was because of what they did, and they're going to live with that guilt.
A 3-year independent study into D.A.R.E is commissioned by the Department of Justice, the same branch that funds D.A.R.E. Over the years, the DOJ approves of the independent agency's approach. Receiving feedback and notes, everything looks good. But when the study was ready and the findings were that D.A.R.E didn't work, the Department of Justice refused to publish it. Totally confused, the researchers go to the American Journal of Public Health, one of the most respected academic journals in its field. This study received exceptionally good peer reviews. So the American Journal of Public Health goes to publish it. When the phone rings, it's D.A.R.E. They said that D.A.R.E tried to intimidate them, to interfere and prevent the public from knowing that D.A.R.E doesn't work. When a major television network was working on a story about D.A.R.E, the producer said, "They worked very hard to get our story suppressed." When a reporter questioned the effectiveness of the program in USA Today, he received letters from classrooms all over the country. Coordinated. They were all addressed, "Dear D.A.R.E Basher." D.A.R.E didn't stumble into its failure. It protected it.
Damn.
But to D.A.R.E, it doesn't matter because the money starts full.
They don't just cover up corruption. They cover up their failures. Right? I just made that up. I mean, we just seen that shit. That's crazy. And they get a lot more money is what this guy's about to tell us?
Stumble into its failure. It protected it. But to D.A.R.E, it doesn't matter because the money starts flowing.
My fellow Americans, this war is not yet won.
Reagan accelerates the war on drugs.
And our nation is united against this scourge as never before.
The First Lady attends D.A.R.E fundraisers. Walt Disney's daughter gives an extraordinarily generous donation, landing a spot on the board of directors. The federal government says it'll pass a bill to fund anti-drug programs. Gates perks up and says, success is when D.A.R.E is in every classroom across America. D.A.R.E sends a lobbyist to D.C. That bill then gets amended, specifically putting money aside for programs that are taught by uniformed law enforcement officials. D.A.R.E uses government money to create regional training centers and develops a decentralized business model. Board of directors, executives, employees, training centers, then the cops. But if they hire cops, they're no longer cops. So they help police departments set up private nonprofits themselves, dedicating much of the officers' training to teaching them how to raise money. They then coach those officers to expand their program and bring on more officers, creating a really unique triangle shape.
Why does it?
I wonder how many other programs are shaped just like this. If you guys know of any other programs that are shaped like this, let us know. Designed like this, right? And they knew that D.A.R.E was not working. But Reagan and his wife decided to push it harder. Definitely know that they were getting kickbacks under the table. Without a doubt.
Kind of sound like a multi-level marketing scheme.
At the time, Herbalife and MLM was the fastest growing company in America. Perhaps D.A.R.E took some inspiration, but I don't know. It's not like Herbalife's founder and executive vice president was on the board of directors. They even donated $36,000 to D.A.R.E, specifically designated for rent. They start taking donations from corporations. A famous one is KFC. Right there. Look at that, the logo. It doesn't say D.A.R.E. D.A.R.E America.
You know, if I were to have gone back to write this book again, you know, now, like trying to figure out, go into like corporate archives to find out, like, why are they all sponsoring D.A.R.E?
Where would be a good place to find those that are potentially getting kickbacks? Officially, there's no kickbacks for these donors. There can't be. But in late 1989, Deputy Chief Glenn Levant, who helped run the D.A.R.E program at LAPD, ordered his elite detectives to spend 2 days scouting out a hotel outside of city limits. They were there to catch a thief, which is odd because they were outside of city limits. They're outside of their jurisdiction. Those cops should not have been there. It was revealed that the owner of the hotel was involved with the D.A.R.E program board, meaning the police were doing odd things that they usually would not be doing, things that benefited members of D.A.R.E's board.
To the case that shocked the world, and now it has exploded into a city out of control.
A few years later, several police officers were caught on camera in a racially charged attack, beating a man named Rodney King.
Terrible situation all night long.
And LA burned.
Fires, looting, gunshots, and now the National Guard may be ready to move in.
Gates was forced to resign. Levant shot up. His ambition kicked in. It was his time to be chief. But he didn't get the job. He left the force. The man who sent cops outside of city limits and reportedly ran the PDID's vastly more powerful sibling.
We were a mini CIA for the chief of police, and we worked some joint operations with the CIA.
Glenn Levant would leave the Los Angeles Police Department to take over D.A.R.E America. This is a timeline showing D.A.R.E's board of directors over time. With an alleged reputation of giving kickbacks to those that are affiliated with D.A.R.E's board, these are the people that Glenn Levant and D.A.R.E America reported to. You have billionaires and millionaires, high-powered lawyers, government officials or people with connections, high-powered police and their friends, media personalities, and some old friends. The football player that subdued RFK's killer, Bill Clinton's close confidant, a former congressman who was disgraced by financial crimes, who was assisted in those crimes by D.A.R.E's friend, the Junk Bond King. Founders and CEOs of Hollywood's largest studios and developers, Michael Jackson, an infomercial king who will soon launder cocaine money. The lawyer who defended the city of LA in a lawsuit filed by the 15-year-old boy whose photos of RFK's assassination were stolen from him.
Damn.
But soon, trouble hits.
The largest criminal action against a Wall Street figure ever. Federal prosecutors indicted one of the richest and best-known Wall Street figures in America. His name was Michael Milken. Do you remember the movie Wall Street? Michael Douglas, the lead character in Wall Street, Greed is Good. That was based on Michael Milken.
Friend of D.A.R.E, Michael Milken, is indicted in a federal grand jury for financial crimes. Many of the board's most powerful members directly benefited from his financing. Like this guy, billionaire Ron Burkle, connected to Harvey Weinstein, business partners with Sean Diddy Combs, close friends and donor to Bill Clinton, and his name appears on a list, officially made by a man who never had any clients. According to the data available to us, Ron Burkle is the longest-running director on the board at D.A.R.E. The Junk Bond King is sentenced to 10 years in prison. He only served 22 months, and then the Junk Bond King was released. But he had to do a lot of community service hours.
Why are all these influencers on either side, these big named influencers, why don't they do stories like this on certain people, certain names? Like, I just found this guy's channel today. I've never even heard of him. He's got like a little over 250,000 subscribers or some shit. Oh, he's close to 500,000. Outstanding fucking video and research done.
He loses access to federal funding. Herbalife's founder starts to fail. King was released, but he had to do a lot of community service hours, which he went to D.A.R.E for. You can see him here talking to board member Michael Jackson at a gala. And as D.A.R.E starts to fail, the board will also fall apart. Michael Jackson goes to criminal trial. Michael Ovitz gets fired from his executive role at Disney. D.A.R.E has a tense meeting with Congress and subsequently loses access to federal funding. Herbalife's founder suddenly dies. Close friends Michael Ovitz and Ron Burkle have a falling out, and several members on the board have either hired or are somehow connected to a private investigator named Anthony Pellicano. They call him the Sin Eater. The convicted felon was hired by the Clintons to discredit Monica Lewinsky and Jennifer Flowers. He was hired by Michael Jackson to investigate the children accusing him. Hired by Ovitz to spy on Burkle. He was a mob man who somehow got access to LAPD police files to aid in his crimes. Anyways, those are the guys that out of the goodness of their hearts want to help your kids. So what was D.A.R.E really all about? We can't say for sure, but we can hold it up to the duck test. Beginning in the 1990s, the United Kingdom taught the D.A.R.E curricula, but over time, they modified the curricula and strayed from only using police officers. They still used cops. They just also used professionals and educators. But D.A.R.E sent them a cease and desist, demanding that they stop using the D.A.R.E trademark. Coincidentally, after D.A.R.E UK made this change, early studies found an overall positive change in results. So while the official story is that Daryl Gates created D.A.R.E because he wasn't happy with the results of the undercover drug bust in schools, I believe that the Detroit News said it best. In 1983, then Los Angeles Police Chief Daryl Gates wanted to get police officers into schools. What resulted was a strange brew of politics, police, and education researchers, and explains D.A.R.E's long history of clashing with nearly everyone who tried to evaluate it. So if you were to ask me, D.A.R.E walks like an MLM and talks like a hustle. After years of attacking anyone that criticized their program, D.A.R.E finally admitted it here on their website. Scientists have repeatedly shown that the program did not work. Seemingly in hopes to regain access to federal funding, D.A.R.E has released a new program. Then this one works.
Today, Attorney General Jeff Sessions attended a gathering of D.A.R.E.
Over the past 3 years, D.A.R.E has had record-breaking expansion.
Do you guys trust that shit? The war on drugs was a failure, but we have a new war on drugs. This time it's gonna work. How can you send me videos? Copy the links and paste them to recordpolicenow@gmail.com. And I'll check out your videos. I don't believe this shit works, guys. I guess I was going to say this for my final thoughts, but I guess I'll say it now. So, at the end of the day, they found people that were connected to the mob that were involved in this shit as well. Folks, if you haven't done your research, most all presidents, even the one in office today, has connections to the mob. Some of the construction companies that helped Trump build the Trump Towers and the Trump Plaza are the same construction companies that did 9/11 cleanup. Like, a lot of this shit is in books, but nobody's talking about this stuff. So they're heavily connected. Just like the left, the Democrats are heavily connected with cartels. We've known this forever. Look at the Clintons. Look at all of them. Just like in New York, and where Trump is from, they're heavily connected with the mafia. All of this shit is in books. Anything that I'm telling you is not hidden information. All of this is already out there in books. The only thing is that many folks haven't read some of those books, so you guys don't know some of these truths. Send it to me. Ripple Effect, the Jesse on Fire video. Send it to me, bro. I'll check it out.
Training thousands of new cops. D.A.R.E is back.
The first D.A.R.E graduation in 2 decades.
There's so much interest in D.A.R.E returning.
Revamping the D.A.R.E program, and schools are on board.
And it does actually seem like D.A.R.E's new program is promising. But the irony of it all is that D.A.R.E's new program was evaluated by a man named William B. Hansen, a scientific prevention strategist, who back in the day worked with the Los Angeles Unified School District to develop a program called Project SMART. Thank you again to Surfshark for sponsoring a portion of this video, and thank you to our patrons. You guys are amazing. Also, should I use this? I'll tell you what, here we go. Every Wednesday on the Discord, we have a GeoGuessr challenge. 1 month from when this video goes live, whoever wins, I will...
I just found this guy's channel. That was the first video I seen on it. He doesn't upload videos often, but his uploads get a shit ton of views, and they seem to be very well done. A lot of these organizations, these foundations, these things, I don't believe that the D.A.R.E program was an authentic organization or whatever, built with good intentions. It was obviously built to funnel money, right? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. They only have one short, a few. Community posts. I'm already subscribed to this guy's channel. I must have been watching his stuff before. I must have watched this one.
Sometimes I can't stop thinking about all the cameras. Step out of my door, security camera.
Yeah, I remember watching this one. Yo, what do you guys think about the D.A.R.E program? Let me read some comments. The goal was not for it to succeed, but to assist the agenda for cops to infiltrate schools and indoctrinate youth. Yeah, I fucking agree with that. D.A.R.E don't actually reduce experimentation. It was a money grab period with the good idea of control thrown in. No shit. No shit. Money. Cha-ching. Right? I don't trust anything the government does. At this point, should we? Should we trust anything that they do, anything that they say? By definition, the U.S. government is one massive conspiracy. It always has been. People at the top make rules to hold others to account while ignoring those rules themselves. Yep. Yep. Good personal intentions. For themselves, huh? Right? Government trying to become a police state. I think they're already there. With all the cameras and the laws, and they're trying to make it illegal to talk shit online, right? Trust the government. Are you on drugs? Right? Shit. Yeah, guys. I'm convinced that the D.A.R.E program was designed to fail and just to funnel money into certain people's pockets. It's probably a mob scam, right? The only way is united we stand. Let me elaborate on that comment, Ripple Effect. Thank you for putting that up there. I believe the Ripple Effect media is correct on that. United we stand. Look, guys, really quick. I'm going to let you guys go with this one. You can't really be Democrat or Republican unless you work for the government. Those titles are reserved for our servants. You could have liberal ideas and have conservative values. Anybody can have that. But the people in government, those are the ones that are Democrats and Republicans. So it's not wise to align ourselves with their party, the government party. Either way, what they do is turn us against each other. Divided, we fall apart. Absolutely. And that's what we're seeing out there. We're falling apart. They try and divide us. Yeah. While they're sitting there playing Puppet Master, they're dividing the people. And both sides do it. Trump does it very well. Oh, the Democrats, they're crazy. But the Democrats do it too. We need to vote out all the Republicans. It's like, it's a never-ending shit show, right? The people are not trying to unite and build each other up, trying to tear each other down for the government. Wow, shit like this is being voted in by both Democrats and Republicans. Just like the flock camera systems. I've seen a comment somebody left right now. Just like the flock camera systems. They are being voted in by both sides of the political spectrum. So, yeah, guys, I enjoyed this one. I might be going live on my First Amendment Frontline channel here soon. I'm going to go fill up my coffee. I'm going to go use the potty. And I'm going to find another video that was sent to me on that channel. All right, guys. So tune in. First Amendment Frontline channel. Make sure you go hit the bell right now so you can catch my live stream shortly. All right, peace.